Oh yeah. What's up, Street Talk, Street Cut, Street Vlogs, ASMR Talks. EK in the house. EK. Alright. So first thought. All black everything. Okay, so the best boots. Las Sportivas. Just got my RAIs. How much did I spend? Like $200? I don't know. These things are super lit. Gore-Tex. Murdered that. This is like simple, Muji down vest, $20 a year, wearing some Air Kim linen underneath. Then, yeah, the Air Kim Lamborghini haircut. So, the thoughts of the day. Downgrade. So, what is the big problem in today's world? We all trying to upgrade, right? Trying to upgrade our house, our kitchen, our cars, our devices, our spouses, etc. Right? Yet, what if the better strategy was to downgrade? So what does that mean? That means, oh yeah, the sun's out. What that means is, rather than upgrading your phone to the newest iPhone Pros Max, downgrade, get an iPhone SE, like a real mensch. And I was thinking about it too. This is like a random thought. Is what is the most cool manly phone? I was thinking about this for a while because it seems that us men, we use our devices, our things, our tools, our cars, our watches, whatevs, as totems of power. So, why would you buy a Richard Mille? Is that you essentially want to flex, you want to show your dominance in front of other guys, right? But it's what is a time, what is a watch? What is a little thing? What does your wristband say about your power and dominance? It ain't gonna make your muscles bigger. It ain't gonna give you a six-pack. It's not gonna increase your testosterone. And I think actually the secret to increasing your testosterone, super simple, guys. 100% organ meat, beef liver diet. EK is the new beef liver demigod king without taking the juice. So another funny thought is, do you know how you know if someone's on steroids or not? Simple. If people joke about being on steroids, or they joke about steroids, they're not on steroids, right? If you're curious whether someone at the gym is actually on the juice or not, right? Two things to look. One, if they're bald, they may or may not be on it. If they're really, really red, they may or may not be on it. If you've never seen them actually take off their shirt in the locker room, you haven't seen what their breast tissue or their nipples look like, maybe. And if you're asking them, it's like, bro, you're looking so swole. What cycle you on? Just see how they respond. Or just chatting with a normal dude, be like, yeah, what do you think about this guy? Yeah, but he's on the juice, right? And then if they start to defend said person on the juice, they're probably on the juice, right? It's so funny too, because I don't even know how to spell steroids. But anyways, 100% beef liver, beef veal. Yesterday I had beef veal for the first time. I'm like, what is veal? I did some Googling, or not Googling. We gotta use ChatGPT. Google is DEAD. No more Googles. Get the chat. But the reason I trust ChatGPT more than I trust the Googles, Google is secretly trying to sell you more advertisements somewhere, whereas at least with ChatGPT, it just, I don't think it really care. Even the paid subscription for ChatGPT Plus or whatever, I think they only probably just do it to offset server costs, truth be told. And there's no hidden scam, content marketing, advertising, selling a product somewhere. So I trust them more than that. Anyways, so as a thought experiment, what if You didn't have to upgrade your kitchen. You didn't have to open it up. You didn't have to buy a house, buy a new car, upgrade your car, upgrade your clothes, upgrade your MacBook Pro, Mac Pro Pros, Macs, your iPad Pros, iPhone Pros, whatevs. What you gonna do with your life? I would actually say the only thing that's probably worth upgrading is maybe your internet connection. Like, I currently have Spectrum in the house with the fake gigabit, the most expensive plan. Yes, Spectrum sucks. I want to get Ting, the fiber optics. Maybe getting fiber might be the most useful thing, but beyond that, I mean, even a simple workaround I found is just exporting it to 720p. Honestly, like 99% of people just gonna be watching your videos on their iPhone, and also most people don't full screen it and tilt it around anyways, and therefore as a consequence you probably okay even with 480p or 540p. The only reason why this like higher resolution stuff is pushed onto us is because the only impetus for people to buy a new thing and upgrade is it needs a higher number. There needs to be like kind of change over time. So that's why the whole silly notion that more megapixels is better comes from. And also the idea that we want quote better quality. But what if we actually wanted worser quality? That's a fun thought, right? And actually, thinking Elon Musk, delete, reducing, subtracting. So it's like, we always think we want this more thing, but it's like, why not purge more things, get rid of more things? So, like, for example, with your phone, your iPhone, right? Like, keep it super simple, guys. Never upgrade your iPhones until it literally just doesn't turn on. And if it gets slow as shit, stop using it. Use other things instead. Even, so Apple, iPad, OS, Apple Photos team, all right. You really have to fix this issue on the iPad Pro, the M1 chip at least. It's like, I'm in Safari, right? I'm about to upload a photo to my blog or whatever. Why is it that the photos library takes like 10 minutes to load? It's like loading. It used to be like super snappy on the old iOS, iPad OS, and now the new iPad OS is terrible. Also, another thing is cowardly design thinking. So the new MacBook Pro came out. It's like, why does it have an HDMI port, a MagSafe? Like, the most cowardly thing I think Apple did was after Jony Ive left, they brought back all the, like, it's like, why would you bring back the MagSafe? It's like, we in the 90s, we in the 2000s, right? Like, do you remember the PCI ports or the old VGA cables? Yeah, your new MacBook Pro is gonna be like that. And even it's like, have you run out of creativity, guys? Like the Mac Studio, it's like, well, you're just gonna take two Mac Minis and then like sandwich them and then make it like a super ugly device. I'm like, yeah, it is seriously lame. The only designs that I trust or I think are good are the ones that Jony Ive still originally put his hands on. I think the last creative, courageous thing that Apple did was make out the iPhone Mini. Huge props. I guess the reason they discontinued it was they didn't sell enough of them. Maybe. But I don't know, even like Apple deciding to make a big iPhone, a big mini iPad, like so anti-Steve Jobs. I'm still Steve Jobs till I die. Read the original Steve Jobs, Walter Isaacson biography. You remember when netbooks was the thing? It's like, why would we put a keyboard or a stylus, let's call it a stylus, on an iPad? That would just make it into a mediocre netbook. The point of the iPad, was for us to handhold it like a tablet, right? And then do you remember, it was like, they try to get people, don't listen to people complain. They're like, when they first released the iPad, it's like, why does it not have USB ports? And even funny enough, like, I think Apple deciding to make the iPhone Pro, whatever, USB-C. I think it's smart and cool, but I wonder if how much of that was a pressure from, I guess, like maybe European regulators or something like that. Like, I mean, I think it's cool. It like simplifies your life a little bit, but alas, I don't know. Maybe they should have just stuck with the lightning cable. Can you imagine? It's like, your car already has all these lightning cables, and you're trying to charge your phone. So, gotta get a new cable. Anyways, doesn't really matter that much. So yeah, I would actually say maybe seeking to downgrade things and to simplify things, make things cleaner. We're trying to accumulate or replace some things. So that's also another thing that I found is that like I'm always trying to quote upgrade something, but my justification is that I'm just replacing it, right? Like I already have this thing which works okay, but I want a better version of that, and I'm gonna upgrade to that, and then I'm just gonna give the old version to like my mom, my sister, and my spouse or my wifey or whatever. Oh, I was right. I was like, just remember like E40 Bay Area kick the sneaks like I go hyphy in my white tee with my wifey. Actually, one of the best things that came out of the Bay Area, 510, Nickel Dime, Bay Area hyphy movement was, as a kid, where stuff was expensive, right? It was cool to just have a white tee, a white t-shirt, just like simple blue jeans, and then the best song that came out was the Vans songs, like got my Vans on but they look like sneakers, got my Vans on but they look like sneakers. The reason why it was so great and innovative was, back then, like, I always wanted Nikes as a kid, but I could never afford them, so I bought Adidas instead. Or in the K-Swiss, the white K-Swisses was really in, which is like so much cheaper and more affordable. It's like, how and why did things get so expensive is kind of a good question, right? So as a consequence, yeah, just make it cool to go cheap. I mean, even when I was talking about Ricoh GR, GR2, maybe GR3 and stuff like that, it's a kind of like one of those things where, yeah, it's cheaper to go. It's cooler to go cheaper, essentially. I'm finna be the first person to make having a Prius gangsta again. It's like, put Lambo doors on the Prius. Purple Lamborghini Prius. Matte pink. Matte purple. I want a matte pink Prius with matte pink rims. That'd be so hard. Also, maybe pink is the future, black pink. I don't know, like pink is typically seen as feminine. I'm like, dude, pink is the ultimate flex. Like even now, whenever I go on nice dates with Cindy, I always put on my pink Brooks Brothers sweater that I got for free from the Pile of Plenty. And it's kind of a good idea because pink is more masculine. Like even Kanye, right? Pink polo with the fucking backpack, about real backpack, right? Yeah, Kanye, in terms of fashion, arts, culture, he's definitely the GOAT. Even when he became Man of the Year, right? Elon Musk wrote his intro, so they're definitely homies. And actually, when people said, Kanye anti-Semitic, he got banned for the swastika with the Star of David. I actually found the original image, and it was like Illustrator file, the new logo. I think what I was trying to get at was he was trying to reconcile the fact that he said all this anti-Jewish stuff he felt bad about. It's like, let's try to do peace by integrating the swastika with the Star of David and reimagine it to not be such a bad thing. But alas, I think, I don't know, like, does Kanye West hate Jewish people anti-Semitic or anti-Jewish or whatever? Maybe not. But also the downside is, a lot of African American folks, like how many millions of people died during this international slave trade? Ain't nobody talk about that, right? And I was even thinking too, it's like, I think it's more permissible to make fun of or be racist or hate on African American people in America, but not as permissible to do it with Jewish people, right? Why is that? Because, I think it is true that a lot of the media industry is run by Jewish people or Jewish families. Not because they're bad people or whatever, it's just Jewish people are super smart, right? And I think the culture of being Jewish is interesting, is that like, it's definitely an in-group versus out-group thing. Like, it's not super easy to become Jewish, right? Like, I was doing some research on ChatGPT. Apparently, like, anyone could convert to Judaism, even if you're Asian, but the process is much more difficult and arduous. Whereas, like, becoming Catholic or Protestant or Christian, whatever, super easy. I'm Roman Catholic, if you're curious. But alas, the last thought, seek to reduce, downgrade, don't buy new stuff.